In this video, we're going to rationalise the denominator. If you're revising, you can pause the video and have a go at questions 1 and 2, and then there's one more question, question 3. Okay, so what is it to rationalise the denominator? Well, the denominator of these fractions are irrational, root 2, 5 root 6, root 10. So you would say that the denominators are irrational, and to rationalise them just means that there will no longer be an irrational number in the bottom or an irrational denominator. To rationalise the denominator, multiply the numerator and denominator by the surd on the denominator. This removes the surd on the denominator. And if the surd in the denominator is removed, then the denominator will be rationalised. I'll go into more depth as to that method as we do it. So the method is to multiply the numerator and denominator by the surd on the denominator. So in the first one, we'd be multiplying the numerator and denominator by root 2. And I can even write that as a fraction, just to show you that, because root 2 over root 2 is 1. So really what we're doing is we're multiplying this surd by 1. So we're not making it smaller or bigger, it's going to be the same size. It's going to be equivalent. So that's why we can multiply the numerator and denominator by root 2. So the numerator would be 1 times root 2, which is root 2. And the bottom would be root 2 times root 2. Now when we multiply a square root number by itself, that will get rid of the square root. So that will become 2. And now you can see the denominator is rational. 1b. Okay, we can multiply the numerator and the denominator by the whole denominator. If you're really can't remember, just multiply through by the denominator. But you only have to multiply through by the surd on the denominator. So we'll multiply through by root 6 over root 6. Again, remember, that's essentially just multiplying by 1, so we're not making the fraction bigger or smaller. It'll just look different. Root 3 times root 6 is root 3 times 6, or root 18. And 5 root 6 times root 6, we'll ignore the 5 for a second. Root 6 times root 6 is 6. So we've got 5 times 6. Now that numerator can be simplified because 9 is a square factor. So that's root 9, root 2, 9 2s are 18. And the bottom is, remember, it's 30. Root 9 is 3, so that's 3 root 2 over 30. And final answer, probably took too many steps there. Divide top and bottom by 3 to root 2 over 10. And you can see the denominator is rational. Now just because you've rationalised the denominator, you still should go through the process of simplifying. That is a given. They won't tell you to do that, and you could lose marks if you don't. Okay, and the third one, the denominator is the surd on the denominator is root 10, so we'll multiply this by root 10. And suppose that numerator is made up of 2 terms, it's an expression. So we're doing root 10 times root 2, which is root 20. Root 2 times 10, root 20. And then we're doing root 10 times minus 1, which is minus root 10. Now remember, there's no rule for subtracting those, they'd have to be the same surd. On the denominator, we've got root 10 times root 10, which is 10. So we have rationalised the denominator. You just need to simplify the numerator. Root 20 is root 4, root 5. Root 10 we can't simplify. 10 is okay in the bottom. And to finish that off, the root 4 is the same as 2. So we've got 2 root 5 minus root 10 over 10. Okay, That's the process. These are just extension questions which are trying to really test your understanding. So we have to write 1 over root 12 plus 1 over root 75 plus 1 over root 300 in this form. If you notice that form, I can see straight away we've got c, and a, b, and c are integers. So we have to have the denominator rationalised. So what I'm going to do actually is rationalise these first. That might make it easier to then bring them all together to get this format. So the first one, I'm just going to do it quite quickly because we're here all day and you'll just switch off. If we times the numerator and denominator by root 12, we would get root 12 over 12. On the second one, if we times the top and bottom by root 75, we would get root 75 over 75. And on the third one, if we times top and bottom by root 300, we would get root 300 over 300. Okay, we've got options now. We can either try to simplify these. I don't know the answer. We'll find out which is better maybe later. You can simplify these, or we could maybe try and get our common denominator and bring those together first of all. I'm thinking if we simplify these, the numbers might be easier to work with, but that might not be true. Root 12, that is root 4 root 3. 4 3s are 12, and root 4 is 2. So that's 2 root 3 over 12. 75 has a square factor of 25, so that's 25 times 3. Root 25 is 5, so that simplifies to 5 root 3. And the denominator is 75. Root 300 has a square factor of 100. 100 times 3. The square root of 100 is 10, and then root 3. I think I'm going down the right path because I can see these could all be simplified. So I'm going to divide top and bottom by 2. So root 3 over 6. Divide top and bottom by 5. Root 3 over 15. Plus, and then divide through by 10. Root 3 over 30. It looks like they can all have a common denominator of 30. So the first one, that would be times them by 5. So 5 root 3 over 30. The second one times by 2. So to get from 15 to 30. So 2 root 3 over 30. And the last one obviously already is over 30. So if we add those together, we get our common denominator of 30. And then we've got like terms. These are all root 3s. So we've got 5 of them, plus another 2, plus another 1. We've got 8 root 3. I thought I was finished. But actually now we can see 8 and 30 is also, can be simplified, common factor of 2. So divide through by 2, top and bottom. 4 root 3 over 15. So just to check, that is the same format where A is 4, B is 3, and C is 15. Okay, number 3. Given that x and y are positive integers, such that this bracket multiplied by this bracket equals this, find the value of x and y. Tough question, tough to know even where to start. I can see double brackets. I'm just going to expand them because that is a method I know, and it would probably get me some marks in an exam. So let's do that, see if that helps. We'd have 1 times 3, which is 3. 1 times root x, which is root x. Then the next set is root x times 3, which is 3 root x. And root x times root x. That gets rid of the root and just becomes x. And that should equal y plus 4 root 5. Just going to simplify the left slightly. I'm going to put the 3 and the x together because they haven't got roots involved. We've got root x plus another 3 root x, so they're the same type of surd. So we can collect those together to give 4 root x. And actually now you can see the left and the right have similarities. And we're going to compare them. There is the term that doesn't have the third, 3 plus the x, and the term that does have the third. And if we equate the left to the right, if the left-hand side is equivalent to the right-hand side, then 3 plus x should be the same as the y, and the 4 root x should be the same as the 4 root 5. That's the easier one you could have started with, because you can see from that equation, if 4 root x equals 4 root 5, the x must be 5 in order for the left to be identical to the right. So that one tells us that x is 5. Use that in the other equation. 3 plus x, 3 plus 5 is equal to y, so y must be equal to 8. And if you've got time in exam, because that's a hard extension question and near the end of the exam, I put those numbers in and check it actually works.